Hi class, as you can see here, I have week 3 open because it is a big week and you have lots of work going on. So I recommend you actually start this week. Most of my other classes start these assignments early and they are not in summer. And so first of all, come to Eat Clean, Live Dirty. So ultimately, this is a podcast that you're going to listen to. It is about 2 hours long, so you need to take the time. You're going to listen to this podcast, which is right here. And you are going to take notes on this podcast. You can take notes any way you want, but I give you this in case it might be helpful to map out your notes. I would use this as a template, even if you don't use this exact PDF, because it'll make things simpler for you. This is just a quick 2-minute giving you a little bit of background about the gut microbiome and how your body is affected by the microbiome. Which is what Dr. Chutnick is going to talk about in her podcast. What you will do, what you'll be turning in, is you are going to type into the journal and you are going to answer these questions in depth. Where students lose points is they don't answer these in a lot of depth. You're going to have so many hours worth of information and it's going to literally, you're going to try to contain yourself into this journal versus not having anything to say. So you want to answer all these questions. You want to then find a research article that explores something that you found interesting. You're going to give me a summary of that article and what the researchers found. If you attach anything, make sure it does not link me to the library because I'm blocked out of your account and I can't see things always. And so I do need to see the article that you used. You will also be attaching your notes that you took. So please understand, a complete set of notes is worth 10 points. Now, if you hand me 10 sentences, that is not a complete set of notes. Again, you could fill 10 pages total. And so make sure that your notes are complete. Here is the point breakdown. So you will attach your notes. You will attach your article. You will answer all these questions in the journal. And you can see the point breakdown right here. And points are based off of whether you contain these things and the quality of work that you produce. This assignment will take you about 4 hours. So realistically, set yourself up to be able to do that successfully. It's an awesome podcast. I encourage you to walk around the house and you can have a note page somewhere. I'm not going to judge your notes. I'm just going to see that you took them and that you follow through the process. I think you will really enjoy this assignment. It's typically one of people's favorite assignments. So let's get to a more challenging assignment. This is really meant to accompany chapter 5. I have a bunch of videos here for you that really discuss how sugar affects your body. And again, this is just an experiment. One of the things that we have found in our current culture is all of our food contains sugar. And we don't even realize it contains sugar. And it's becoming so insipidous that we can't almost pick up a condiment and have it not be sugar. In addition, many of you are going to find that you have a small sugar addiction. And so the purpose of this assignment is to mess with that a little. And you are going to pull sugar out of your diet. So the goal is just for 3 days, and you're going to have to plan for this a little bit, which is why I'm telling you now and not next week. For 3 days, you're not going to eat any added sugar. What is added sugar? It is honey. It is agave nectar. It doesn't matter how cool you make it sound. It's sugar molecularly. It is juice. It is going to be a sugar found in a soda. It is going to be any brown rice syrup, all of those ingredients. The cool thing is now labels tell us how much added sugar is in a product. And that really helps, especially with things like yogurt. It can help with things like bread. And so what you're going to do is, I know this is going to be a challenge, but you're just not going to eat any of the added sugar. So you want to be thinking about, oh my gosh, if I drink coffee with sugar, what am I going to do? Am I going to use a little Splenda? Am I going to use a little monk fruit? You can do that. It does not count a sugar attached to fruit. So fruit does not count. Lactose does not count. Also, it may be that you have to have just a smidge of sugar. And what I mean by that is, no, you're not eating Honey Nut Cheerios and being like, oh my God, I just couldn't help it. really it's like, for example, bread. Most breads have at least 1 to 2 grams of sugar in it. And I realize you probably at least need some bread. So that's kind of what you're looking at when I say that it is unavoidable. You are looking at food before you eat it. You are not recording your food and then telling me about the sugar that you ate. Okay? What you need to turn in, you will use what you're using this week. You're going to use NutriCalc. You're going to turn in all daily reports. You're going to highlight to me how many grams of sugar you ate each day, and I'm looking for the added sugar. So if you ate grapes, don't tell me that you ate those grams of sugar because that didn't count in our sugar conversation. You're also going to write a summary paragraph about how this went, how you felt, what you learned about yourself. And then really think about this. Right now, this is current recommendation, 25 grams or less. So I really want you to consider that. If we're saying like for health purposes that you should eat 25 grams or less sugar a day, what does that look like for you? How you typically behave right now, and how you engage with food and drink around you. And I will tell you, in case you're ever wondering, I've done this numerous times. I actually did this for like 6 months once, but I did this with my class, one of my first classes that I ever did this assignment with. And so I know that it can be a little bit more challenging, and I know I found salad dressing and cranberries very frustrating at the time. And so please know that's why it's only for 3 days, so you can have fun and experiment. Although you might want to throw tomatoes at me by the end of it. So this is the journal that you're going to be completing for this. I highly recommend these videos. I love Dr. Lustig. He is out of San Francisco Medical Hospital. He's pretty much a rock star as far as I'm concerned in understanding how sugar interacts in your body. And so I think these videos are really worth your time. You'll learn a lot, and they're really entertaining. And they're very short. So I just encourage it. All right. Well, you now know what you're doing in week 3, and you are prepped and ready to go. So as you're busting through these assignments, really start looking ahead. Have a great week.